The Lord had led me to remember a vision that He had given me. I got this the first time in my life that God the Father ever spoke to me. And when He spoke to me, He said, "I am your Father. I am holy. I am in heaven." When He said it to me, He called me by name and said, "Marian." And then He said, "I am." Now, at that time, I had never read the Bible. I had not known Jesus Christ. But yet, it was a period of time in my life that I was terrorized by all the things in my family and all the things in my life. And He touched me with perfection of peace, and then led me through a vision that was a reality. There's no way I can describe it to you, because there is nothing on earth that you can compare it to. But at the very end of that vision, I was immediately transported to another earth. I knew that on that other earth, I was Marian. But I also knew that I left behind Marian on this earth. And He brought to my remembrance what He said was, "My kingdom is not of this earth." And I'm sure His kingdom was not of the earth that I went to. I am sure that His kingdom, which we call heaven, is not of the earth. But it opened a door to the mind's understanding, which I have yet to reveal to you. But God told me plainly there are geniuses on this earth that, they study science, they study the stars, they study everything. And they are tremendous geniuses. I have none of those studies in me. I know nothing about those things except what God tells me. I only know what God tells me. And if He doesn't tell it to me, then I don't know it. But I saw that in another vision, I saw where man, through his intelligence, had reached out into the heavenlies, into the stars, had reached out and sent out things, even years before, sent out things into outer space. And God says that whatever they are working with how many years that they have ever worked with it, it is still people who are in an infant baby stage with these things. It's still in an infant stage. And I mean, this is after how many years have passed by? I only know that they talk about light years and how many actual years there are in light years. But I know that God can transport you from one planet to another planet in a second. I know that God is so powerful that he can do anything. I know him as that kind of God. I've been transported from one place to another, but not from one planet to another. I've been transported in different ways so that I could experience it, so that when I say it to you, I have no doubts. I know what I'm talking about. And God says that if you read Romans chapter 1, man is still in the stage of making God like the creature. They are still in the stage, because of the lack of dying to the flesh. They are still in the stage of making the creator like the creature, and making the creature like the creator. In knowing God, God is able to reveal to you that you are only the creature and that he is your creator. I've said it many times that many times I've said this. The limit of man is the creation of God. He's limited. He's limited to everything in every cell, every molecule, everything in his body, mind, and spirit has a limit to what he could receive, what he could accept, what he could understand. He is limited. Just like the angels are limited to their creator. Just like the disobedient angels are limited to their creator. No human, no animal, no angel, nobody, nothing can ever go beyond their creator in what he created them to be and what he created them for. So you can be tempted to believe in aliens, in the fact that they, because you think they're supernatural, that they would have a knowledge that there is no God. They are the only ones. And you can be so foolish as to believe that there is no God. I mean, that's the first thing they want you to think. And that's the first thing they want you to believe. And that will be the first thing that will cause you to turn against God. Because it will come through knowledge. Now, I'm not telling you there's not life out there, because God created everything. And we are talking about a God that definitely did create dinosaurs that are now gone. Okay. He created planets. Now, he said for this earth that the heavens are going to roll back like a scroll. You know, in Psalm 19 it says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. The air that we breathe the prince of the air, has an atmosphere of power that was given to him to deceive as many who want to listen to him. That was given to him, for God wants to separate who will believe him and love him because they love him. God will force no man to love him. But God also knows that what's inside of every man, they have a choice. He gave them a choice. And oh my goodness, there are so many ways for you to destroy the power of your choice. Yes, when you were born, sometimes you were born under generational curses. Curses that don't come from man, they come from God. Curses that you cannot break, that only God can break. And you can't make God break them. You can't pray a certain prayer. You can't believe a certain thing. You can't anything to persuade God to break them, because they were put there because of disobedience in the generations of things that he hated. And therefore, he cursed them. And those generational curses lead you by the nose into all of life from the time you're born. You might think that you were born this way and that way, with tendencies to this and that would deny, if you were born with something like that, that would deny the truth that all the babies do come from heaven. And if it's corrupted, then man had a hand in it. And that is where the generational curse comes in. They're easily broken. But when you don't bother to even think about it or look for it or talk to God about it, you're led by the nose thinking, well, you have a tendency to do this, or they have a tendency to be like that. It's unbelievable. The disobedience and the lack of understanding and the ignorance of people who call themselves Christians. It's true, God will not hold against you something you don't know or understand. But it is true that God will hold you responsible for once he tells you, once he reveals it to you. And it is not true that you can't win over the enemy of your soul, because the devil never wins, never, not once, not on anything, unless you allow him. Unless you believe him and not God. For the blood is so powerful that it erases everything if you allow God to erase it.